What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about Faraday Future. I want to go over some of the current data points and just address a lot of the concerns as far as manipulation and everything else that investors need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off Friday, there was a new 52-week and all-time low hit at 99 cents. It did recover a little bit, but still it closed 10.57% in the red. And basically Friday is a very good example of what I'm going to be talking on as far as whether it's manipulation or whatever else. Because keep in mind, during that time period, SEC Rule 201 was in force by the SEC. So that's kind of something. But I think with Faraday, they've been really trying significantly with news. Like, I've been covering them for 2 years, and this is, as why I even pointed out, that they're doing and will be doing a PR blitz in the next little bit to try to pump up the stock to avoid a reverse stock split. And this is exactly what they are doing, similar to what happened in September of 2023. So Faraday is trying to fight. A lot of investors are just ignorant to that and just thinking that they're just trying to benefit themselves by putting out PR and help shareholders and all the other stuff. There's a lot of individuals on Reddit, regrettably, that just don't know what the hell they're talking on. So I've brought up Mindless Vacation. I've kind of called out a couple others, individuals out there just that are saying, hey, this is manipulation. This isn't like, this is not right, blah, blah, blah. Even this was posted on, similarly, Reddit, just saying that I have a strange suspicion that shorters and hedges are attempting to crush the stock before Trump's inauguration. As of January, new rules will be in place. So obviously have them delisted and blah, blah, blah. So I just wanted to kind of bring that up. So if a new rule is incorporated, like, it's starting fresh. So that's if a company is doing another like reverse stock split, and that new rule, just in case you aren't aware of that, is if a company does a reverse stock split to rectify a deficiency, they are not allowed to do another reverse stock split for a 1-year time span. So if they are deficient in the future, that's it, bye-bye. So given Faraday's history of reverse stock splits, as you can see, so they've done 3 and we'll be doing a 4th Q1 2025, and you can go back to any of my videos. I've been 1000% accurate on every single one of these, even before they're even announced. So something just to keep in mind. But beside the point though, it's that new rule, once they do their 4th reverse stock split, that would kind of limit them to do their 5th. And it's just a fine line on what's actually happening. But I think just bigger picture, there's a lot of misinformation that's being distributed through Reddit primarily, and just a lot of individuals that probably are at too much of a loss to be able to do anything. So what they do is they just go to internet, because of course you can say whatever the hell you want without any repercussions for the most part on Reddit, and just pump the hell out of the stock. So that's always been one very negative side of Faraday and just any meme stock in general. But right now, Faraday is struggling and they're trying to fight to avoid that other reverse stock split. As I've stated and kind of estimated, that it most likely will announce a emergency shareholder meeting in the next, I think I stated second week, first or second week of December. And because if a company is trading below 30 consecutive trading days, below $1, they will be deficient with that NASDAQ rule. And given the threshold, so they've done a over 1 for 250, so that does mean that they won't be given any grace period. So they won't be given any extension. They'll just be given a Form 25 to delist. So Faraday is just stuck between a rock and a hard place. And then you have a lot of individuals just screaming that there's manipulation and everything else. And so long story short, let's go over what happened on Friday, because Friday is a very good example of like what truly happened and if there is manipulation. So you had this kind of swift pullback to that 99 cents. And as I've stated, like looking over here, 19.34% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 8.52 million shares. It is on the threshold list and has been on the threshold list. It looks like fairly recent. I'll just kind of hit that one more time. So fairly recent, I think, as of November the 27th. So essentially, if any company's on the threshold list for longer than 13 consecutive days, this is where the SEC should be interjecting, going after the market makers. But I feel like there's a lot to it behind the scenes, only because with Faraday, like this 19.34%, can't always trust that, because if there's dilution happening behind the scenes and they just haven't disclosed it, that number could be very, very wrong. And so essentially where Faraday is at is it's not heavily shorted. That SEC rule 201 is in force and was in force on Friday. So meaning if a company is more than down 10%, shorts cannot increase their position. They can only return. So ultimately, by this dip right here, we already know that was a insider. That was not shorts. No matter what people say, that was not shorts. And what big entities are out there that can cause that? The note holders. So as I've stated numerous times, they are going to destroy the company, because what they do is they essentially convert all the shares, and based on the kind of terms, causes usually a bump up in the stock price. So abnormalities like that is a clear indication that there's dilution. And then what they do is they can only have a cap of, I believe it's 9.9% of the float. So what they do is they sell their shares, because then that way they can convert more down the line, because they have to free up that room, right? This was note holders selling. This is why they were not privy to that SEC rule 201, because insiders, whoever physically owns it, can sell whatever the hell they want. With that SEC rule, when that's in force, only shorts cannot increase their position, if that makes sense. So ultimately, Friday is a very good example of why there's actually not a lot of manipulation happening with Faraday, rather just a lot of those note holders screwing over the company. And for those of you that are kind of into my channel and kind of have been following it, you would know that Faraday itself, the company itself, 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧, did bring up that in 2023 September, when they were doing their PR blitzes, they said that we're going to stop with this toxic debt, the convertible notes, because we know it's very bad for the company. But what have they done since then? They have done time and time again more notes. So yeah, honestly, Faraday might be trying right now, but they are giving you all the middle finger straight to your face, because this is and was very known in 2023 to be damaging. So I'm very surprised, like I said, the fact that there hasn't been a class action lawsuit against Faraday just for everything, especially just based on that news, the fact that they have acknowledged that the toxic debt is very bad for the company, for shareholders, and that they were going to stop it. But since then, all they've done is that. So like I said, I think based on Faraday, they do like to settle. So there hasn't been that many lawsuits, because they just like to just pay them out. So that way it's not that bad. And this is why, again, bigger picture, they want to change their name. And most likely, I think they stated beginning part of 2025, they'll be changing it to FFAI. So because they'll think that retail investors are dumb as hell, they will forget what FFIE has done to shareholders, and that FFAI will be a brand new company and be amazing from there. So let me know your thoughts on Faraday. Again, I might sound rather bearish and just heartless, an asshole, all that stuff, but I don't sugarcoat stuff. I just say it how it is. And Faraday, this has been the writing on the wall for a very, very long time, and I seem to have been, since the beginning, pretty much the only one that's been really like substantially calling it out. This whole bump up in the stock price was very exciting, but it was not sustainable whatsoever, and it kind of shows that Faraday management just were sitting on their asses. So yeah, it's a very interesting stock, to say the least, very psychological. You can really analyze it coming from a retail standpoint, and just how people are very, very delusional about what is happening behind the scenes, and how there is still a lot of individuals such as this and many others out there that is pumping the stock like absolute craziness. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Faraday. Are you still a buyer? Are you still a seller? As I've stated, I still feel that there is going to be another reverse stock split Q1 2025, and most likely in the next 2 weeks there will be a emergency shareholder meeting. And yeah, even from these levels, like I've stated, like bigger picture, Faraday itself will still be around, and because they'll be able to kind of kick the can down, do reverse stock splits and whatever else, so the company should be fine. But it is going to be retail shareholders even from these. Like if you bought in on Friday and you are intending on holding bigger picture, you're going to lose probably around another 99% of your value. So it's retail shareholders that is going to be sacrificed for Faraday to survive. So if you're okay with that, then so be it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And if you're looking for a lot of good buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto, pop over to my Patreon. Just started it. Already huge hits on that. So pop over there. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.